In the heart of the city, smack in the middle of everything, there's a street called Urban Avenue.
So what do?
You see these? 20 in the pack. Break them down. I roll up 100 little ones. 10 cents a pop.
How long does it take you to roll?
About 2 hours.
Isn't that like $2 an hour?
Tax-free, baby.
And on that street, you'll find several business owners.
So what is all this? What are you doing?
Oh, this is my new business venture, Randy's Candies.
That we like to call the Urbans.
Bro, what the fuck was that? You not smoking no weed before you come on the show, no shit like that? Because right now, bro, when I listen to you, sound boring than a motherfucker.
It's the Urbans.
Guess it's safe to say you don't trust people.
No, I don't. No, when you trust somebody, you get this done to you. All they want to do to you. That's all they want to do. Yeah. Trusted somebody before.
The Urbans.
Rhythm and Soul Radio. I am Marco Nobles. We have our virtual studio guest line open, and we always say here on Rhythm and Soul Radio, support independent music and support independent artists. This isn't a support independent artists and independent creatives interview. There is a new television show, a new comedy that is now available and to be seen on Tubi, but also will be coming to Amazon Prime Video and Film Rise and Bounce TV. It's called The Urbans, and it's created by the Green Brothers, who are joining me today. They're independent creatives. They are the creators of The Urbans. Brothers, thank y'all for coming. Appreciate y'all.
Sir, thank you for having us.
So let's start. Before we get in deep into The Urbans and what it is, you know, it is a sitcom, you know, and we're going to talk all about that, but talk about the journey, because I think it's really interesting, because you guys really started just, you know, wanting to do a music video and looking for someone to help you create this music video, and that has now turned into all these projects and the Urbans going to festivals and then getting to where it is now. Do I have that kind of right?
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean,
Okay.
we've always been in the entertainment sector. You know, that's one of the reasons why we moved to Atlanta. I mean, we're really Georgia. We're originally from Boston, but Georgia is really, we only know about Georgia. But we moved to Atlanta when we were really young, my brother and I, for the entertainment business. And so filmmaking wasn't our first thing. It was music. And so, yeah, we had an artist, and we had a video shot for her. And when we got the video back, you know, the video was it was tight, but at the same time, you know, we're kind of looking at it, and I'm kind of editing things in my head. I'm like, man, I want to kind of try some different things with it and see what I can add to it. And that's when we started to do that, and then we
realized we were good at that point.
we to me, filmmaking is, you could say so much more. It involves visual, sound. You know, you don't have, with songs, you have 5 minutes to tell your story or whatever, but with movies, you can really bring every piece of it in your head to life.
So so you kind of you transitioned, like the music, you know, and telling the story through the music. You kind of caught the bug doing the video. So what was there a particular switch? Like you said, you were kind of seeing different things you could do, but then what was that thing that said, you know what, we need to create, you know, short films and TV sitcoms and full films? And what was that thing that really said, you know what, we need to do a switch here?
Can I? At that time period, during that time period when the video, you know, we were having that shot or whatever, it was the time when Napster and all of that stuff was going on. You know what I mean? So people didn't really, the music industry was really kind of, it was weird at that point. You know, you go from, you know, printing copies of CDs and tapes and physical copies to ripping software and all. So it was a period where people didn't really know what direction to go in. And my brother and I, we weren't, um, we were a little worried about that, but luckily at that time, we found something that we loved uh, just as equally, but we were much better at it. We're good at music, but I think in filmmaking it was effortless for us. So once we started doing that, it wasn't hard for us. That was the difference. It wasn't hard for us.
Dude, we always writing down. We're always writing down ideas and script ideas, and we always love the sci-fi space, comedy, thrillers, and all of that. But after we edited the video, we said, well, let's get some equipment. Let's start to really put these ideas down. So it was it was gonna come sooner or later. It wasn't just one big spark, but it was just an evolution, you know, from what we were doing before. We were doing storytelling before. It was just an evolution.
So, what was the first project outside of the music videos that y'all did? It was because I'm sure there's a you kind of worked your way up to now you have the Urbans multi-episode sitcom. So, what was like the evolution to get from the music videos to get to where you're at with the Urbans?
The Campbell. We did a sci-fi called The Campbell: Traders, Gangsters, and Robots. And yeah, that was in 2016. We started working on it in 2015 and then finished in 2016. We thought it was going to take 2 days to shoot. It ended up taking about a year and some change. So that was our college. That was the learning. That was all the learning, the cameras and all of that. It was a long process, but we were learning everything. We were paying attention to all of the details, all the way down to the kind of clothes that you're wearing, all of those things. So that was a sci-fi, and we spent all of this time putting it together and sharpening it night after night. And when we put it out, it started to get attention. And so the film festival started to pay attention to them. And some of the film festivals were on the larger side, like the San Diego Black Film Festival, Peachtree Village International Film Festival, and also Bronze Lens here in Atlanta. Peachtree Village and Bronze Lens are big film festivals. And so for us to start to get attention like that, that's kind of like how we knew, and that kind of paved the way for everything else going on.
Right. So now, did y'all? You said that was your college. So at that point, y'all are doing almost everything. Y'all are doing y'all are writing, y'all are directing, y'all are producing, y'all are maybe doing costuming. Y'all are doing a little bit of everything at that point.
Man, I learned how to do makeup, man. We learned how to do every part of it because when we couldn't afford to have situations where we didn't know how to do certain things. You know, if you have cinematographers and people doing set design, like everything has to work in concert. So we taught ourselves to learn. We wanted to learn every aspect. That way, if someone doesn't show up or whatever, we know what to do. But at the same time, we wanted to know how to do it anyway. That way, if someone's slipping, if we know how to do it and they're slipping, they can't tell us or give us an excuse. We're like, nah, we know how to do that too. So this is the reason it's not working. You know. So yeah, to answer your question, we know how to do. The only thing we don't know how to do is the color grading. Color grade. That's the only thing we don't know how to do.
All right. Sound, radio. Yeah, sound. Okay. Yeah, I can relate. You know, as we do things here on the radio side, sometimes it's a one-man show over here too. I can relate. I understand.
Yeah, we're like Prince when it comes to.
Man, I actually color graded some of our stuff, a few of our things, but I had to get a little help. But we're getting that down too.
All right, all right. It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. We are talking with the Green Brothers, who are the creators of the new sitcom The Urbans, which is available now on Tubi and Amazon Prime Video. I said it's coming to Amazon Prime, but it's on Amazon Prime Video now, and it's coming to Bounce TV and Film Rise. So let's talk about The Urbans. Um, First of all, you have a heck of a cast: Rodney Perry, Clifton Powell, Tyler Craig, Bernadette Stannis, who many of us still have a crush on since Good Times. And then you have Donnell Rawlings. So, talk about this project. How did this come together? What was the impetus for creating the Urbans?
Well, I want to add that that it's on Roku. It's on Roku now.
Okay,
Tubi, you can get it on. Tubi is, of course, is free. Amazon Prime is available. That's pay, but Amazon Prime and Film Rise if you're going through Roku, and it should be up on the Bounce app any day, which is going to be the brown sugar app. Uh,
okay.
yeah, just to clear that up. So the Urban's streaming now, all 6 episodes. Um, but yeah, how it came about is we were doing good with the sci-fi, but one of the problems with it was the cost of it. That was one, and number two, once we were done with it, it was kind of like that was kind of it. The film another one would have just been too much. So we said, well, we love comedy for one, but we probably need to do something to whereas if we do one right now and do another 3 months from now or 6 months from now, we can continue to build on just like a catalog
Mm,
type of thing. That way we can continue the momentum of it. So that's how we came up with the idea. Look, we need to do something episodic.
okay, okay.
Right. So we said we need to do something episodic. So we, searching names and everything and came up with the Urbans. But even prior to that, we said, well, let's just test it. So we wrote about a 7 to 8 minute little short and found Langley Cornwell, great actress. You can see her all in Lifetime movies and everything. Now she's doing her thing. And we filmed it and we took it to a viewing and the place was packed and we never seen how people really reacted to anything, any comedy that we did. And when we showed it, like, they were laughing and my brother and I looking at each other like, hey, we got something. They were really enjoying it. They didn't know that we were there. They didn't know that we were in the building. They were just watching it.
Mm,
So it was a raw audience that was laughing and they were getting what we were doing. And once we saw that they got what we were doing, we was like, we were right. We know what we're doing. And so we said after that, let's go ahead and that's when we started to really put it into full swing and reached out to found Tyler Craig. Well, Tyler Craig we already kind of knew, but got Tyler Craig on board, and then after that, it just started to kind of snowball.
right, right. And because I was going to ask you about the cast and being able to reach out and pull in folks, is it really kind of reaching out to people as independent creatives that you've already started working with, and then they kind of say, oh, I can add so and so for this, so and so would be good for this, as opposed to actually doing auditions and that sort of thing. Is that kind of how you pulled it together in a more independent way?
The bigger people didn't have to audition, of course.
Right.
The smaller people, we didn't do too much auditions. We would look at different people and we can kind of see what they're doing because most people that we deal with they have reels, so we
Mm,
kind of can see what they can do and what their range is and everything. So once we looked at certain people, we could tell that they were able to pull certain things off. But when we got, we've always been really in close proximity with people in the comedy space. 'Cause we have friends that are comedians and we go to comedy clubs. And so we would always see for like the last 20 years, we were seeing Tyler Craig, in clubs.
mm,
He's really a highly respected comedian. And so he was highly respected, but he didn't pop. You know what I mean?
right.
He didn't blow. He didn't blow yet. So when we were looking for someone, we wanted to get someone that was famous, but that we could touch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we reached out to his management, and they were like, "Yeah, we're with it." And then once we got him in the project, people loved the project. So once we started reaching out to people, we reached out to Rodney Perry, and Rodney Perry was like, "Yeah, I saw y'all got my man Tyler Craig in there." So we was able to get Rodney Perry, and then once we got Rodney Perry, we reached out to Clifton's people. We actually saw Clifton out in San Diego Film Festival.
Mm.
That's a whole different story, man. But we didn't even think we can obtain him.
Clifton Powell, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't think we were like, yeah, why would he be with us in our show?
Yeah.
And we threw our hat in the ring. We reached out, and he knew that Rodney Perry was in it.
He's like, you got my man in there, Rodney Perry. So then I'll do it.
Wow. Yeah,
So
that's
It was
nothing beats a failure but a try. You put yourself out there, right?
And then our distributor was able to get Donnell Rollins in there. He's not a regular cast member.
Hmm.
He came and did he came and shot one of the episodes with us. So we got that because of our distributor. And Bernadette, one of our co-producers, we have a person that works in close proximity with us. Um, I think did she know Bernadette? I'm not sure.
yeah, Naomi. Yeah, I don't know exactly how, but she got her in, and when we heard about her, at first we didn't really know what we were gonna do, but then we had a role open up, and then the name came back up again, and we really started. My brother and I really started to think about it, like you talking about somebody that was in people's living rooms every day.
Hmm.
Their whole, they almost their whole lives or whatever. All of their, back in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, not, that's every day. You talking about that's iconic.
Yeah,
That was the woman that was the post on the wall.
that's right.
And so
And she's still extremely popular.
Yes,
yeah,
she is.
Most of the people you talking about from the 70s, most people that were popular back then, right now, they're not really, they're okay or whatever, but she's still hot.
Yeah,
You
not
know,
not
her
just popular. She is loved. She is beloved.
because she's the symbol. She symbolizes something that's you don't even really see it that much these days. You talking about someone who symbolized something, who stood for something, who had you know beauty but didn't use it negatively. You know what I'm saying? She stood for something in a certain way that those women back in the day
Hmm.
we had more of that. You know what I'm saying? But she kept that prestige and she still got it. So she's an icon.
Yes, absolutely. It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. We are talking with the Green Brothers, who are the creators of the sitcom The Urbans. Um, Tell everybody a little bit about what The Urbans is as an overview, overall story.
The Urbans centers around my character. Jay Whitman is an upholstery shop owner, and he owns this shop on Urban Avenue. And so it's called the Urbans because that's the nickname for the people who own businesses on Urban Avenue. So everyone who owns the business on Urban Avenue is kind of they're they're one of the Urbans. If you own a business on Urban Avenue, you're one of the Urbans. So it centers around me. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm single. I do very well. I do pretty good in life. Um, um, I'm, I'm, I'm an introvert, and so I don't have a lot of friends. You won't see me hanging out, you know, shooting pool with a lot of dudes. Like it's really kind of closed off. So I interact a lot with the people around me at the shops, and um, Rodney Perry is one of the characters that him and I use him to kind of you know relay information to the audience. But it's a very smart comedy, and that's the difference. It's not slapstick. If people when people watch it, they're like Okay, this is like Atlanta mixed with The Office, mixed with Seinfeld. You
Hmm.
know, it's like that. It's not. You don't see this type of comedy. You know, and it's a lot of deadpan humor.
Okay.
So if you like intelligent humor, not that you have to work hard when you're watching it. You don't have to work hard to think, but it's clever. You know,
Okay.
with great storylines, and when people start watching it, they just start binging it. You know, we get that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so it's nothing like what you. It's not another show out there like that, like what we have at all.
Right. Okay. So, last couple of questions. So, first of all, for you, Saeed, how is it acting in the show and then being part of the creative process of it? And then, Rashid, how is it you have to now direct or correct your brother as he's acting this piece that you both are creating? How does that dynamic work for both of y'all?
Well, yeah, that works both ways. Even with the editing, like I do all of the editing, and then I send it to my brother, and then he'll point out this and that. Then we have to rearrange things, rearrange things because he has an idea on something. And since I'm behind the camera most of the time, if he's on screen, then I'm the one that's behind the camera. And of course, he can't see what I
Mm,
see, you know. So we do multiple takes, and then we think pretty much the same when it comes to it. So it's really that's really nothing for us.
mm.
You know, it pretty much at the end it's a collaboration thing. It both the inputs we pretty much you're pretty much seeing both of our vision at the same time, even though it's two of us.
Okay, all right. And it's a 6 episode sitcom, 6 episodes in this initial season. Are there more seasons to come, or will we have to wait and see?
Well, we're about to be everywhere in the next few months, especially with the summertime is heating up. So we have the vehicles and everything about to hit the streets. So we're gonna be coming to cities and towns for a
Okay.
few months. So since we're not the big guys yet, this is completely independent by my brother and I. We have to go door to door.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So for the next few months, we're gonna be going door to door, city to city. So make sure look out for the van, for the vehicles and everything in your city, in your town, and on your radio stations, because we're gonna be hitting all of them, especially in the southeast. Then around as we're doing that, somewhere around um, August, we're gonna start the process again for who's gonna be in the next episodes. We pretty much know who it is, so we start the film around August and September, and do a soft launch for the next season later on this year, and then
Mm.
kick out the rest of them next year. So when you're independent, you unfortunately you're not able to just blast it out,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but we're able to go and talk to the people one on one. That's one of the things that we love. We're able to go and talk to the people individually, whatever, in crowds and all of that. So building up the audience right now. They're loving what we're doing. So we're enjoying that part. So expect 2 episodes around later in the fall, and then we hit them again next year with more episodes.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, glad that we're able to be early in the radio run. We appreciate it. You're glad that y'all took the time to talk to us. You're definitely all the success to y'all, man. We always say support independent artists. In this case, support independent artists and independent creatives like you all. You guys are doing your thing, and you're certainly a lesson for others coming behind you. So definitely keep up the good work.
Hey, appreciate it. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Green Company Pictures uh, or The Urban Show. And it's streaming right now. And I tell people to go watch 5 minutes of it. And the reason why I say 5 minutes is because after they watch 5 minutes, they watch the whole season. So
Right.
I don't have to say go watch the whole season. I just say, hey, go watch 5 minutes of the first episode, and that means you're gonna watch all of them. So if you like that smart humor, something new, something independent, And my brother and I really pride ourselves on making ourselves and the people around us and our people in particular look good. And so it's something that you could be proud of, something that you can play. It's gonna be raunchy here and there, parts, the raunchy parts of the thrillers and all of that, but you're gonna love it.
Excellent. And remind everybody once again where they can find it, the various streaming networks that it's on again.
Well, Tubi has been on Tubi since Tubi was the first platform, and then Roku devices. So Roku TV, so Roku and some film and Film Rise. I don't know if it's up on Bounce yet, but
Okay.
their platform, Brown Sugar, that should be up in any moment. But right now, just Amazon Prime, Roku, and Tubi. Right now, we'll be expanding from there.
All right. So everybody check out the Urbans, independent sitcom, how the sitcom coming out of Atlanta and going around the world. So, you're able to hear the Green Brothers here with us on Rhythm and Soul Radio. Guys, thank y'all again. We look forward to talking to y'all again real soon.
Hey man, thank you, Rodney Perry, Clifton Powell, Bernadette Stannis. Hey, y'all go check it out.
Langley Cornwell.
Absolutely. It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. Make sure you follow the Green Brothers. It's Green Company Pictures again.
That's it. One
All
E.
right. Excellent. Excellent. Rhythm and Soul Radio.